Okay, so I just want to do a quick video. I'm replacing the right side, passenger side engine mount on a Ford Focus 2010. This is the culprit in causing vibration in the car. Basically, you're getting buzzed to death from engine vibration all the time, whether you're driving or at idle or whatever. Now, the mount on the right is the original OEM. The mount on the left is a aftermarket replacement. And there are a bunch of videos showing you how to do the replacement. It's not hard. Probably take you half an hour. It's a pretty easy job. Just like 5 bolts. It just unbolts with 5 bolts that are easily accessible. But none of the videos on YouTube show you what the problem is, and I haven't seen anybody explain it to you and like what to look for. But when what's causing the problem is that, as you can see, there's no crack. The rubber doesn't crack or anything. Like a lot of motor mounts, when they go bad, the rubber cracks, and that causes vibration or excessive movement of the engine. That's not the case here. The rubber is still intact, but it starts to sag. But not only the sag is that the original design of it, or the original, the factory mold of it, whatever, is defective. There's not enough clearance between the mount, the absorber part, and the stand. This part here is the static stand. This one doesn't move, and then the rubber is installed into it, and this part here is attached to the engine and the engine weight pushes down on this piece here, which compresses the rubber. And eventually what happens, and it doesn't take much, the rubber comes into contact, as you can see here, with the stand. And if you look closely, you can actually see the metal underneath is shiny. So it's actually it's showing you that the rubber was making contact, and that's where the vibrations are getting transmitted from the motor into the chassis, and then eventually into the cabin and the steering wheel and everything else. But the rubber itself is still intact. There's no cracks, but it probably doesn't take long. And Ford Macaluso said that he's seen cars with like 40,000 miles that are starting to get shaking in the on the steering wheel. So the problem was they weren't manufactured correctly. There's not enough clearance here. This rubber part should have been higher. Now, if you can look at the aftermarket one, look at all the clearance over here. So this part is, if you compare them, you see there's a lot more clearance on top here than here. Now the engine is going to push down on this, so when it does, there's no way that this is going to contact the base here, right? So basically, I'm just showing you this so that a lot of people are saying, oh, you have to go OEM, the aftermarket is no good. It's not the problem. The problem is when you get one of these, whether it's OEM or aftermarket, you have to take a look at it and see if you have enough clearance here. It's only like, that's probably, it's less than 1/4 of an inch. I would say it's about 1/8 of an inch clearance. So if you get a new one and it only has like, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch, 1/8 of an inch clearance, it's not going to take long before this sags and starts hitting the base, and you have the same problem all over again. So what you want to look for, no matter which replacement mount you get, OEM or aftermarket, just make sure there's enough clearance here. This looks like about 1/2 inch of clearance, if I had to guess. Maybe a little more, maybe 5/8 of an inch of clearance. So there's really, and I'm pushing down now, there's no way it's going to contact that. So I'm I'm expecting this aftermarket mount to pretty much last for the life of the car. I don't see this ever causing me a problem. I don't think this rubber's really thick. I mean, it could crack, I guess, and at that point I'd have to replace it. But absent the rubber itself going bad, I think I'll never have to replace this again. So that's it, guys. I just wanted to explain to you what the problem is, because nobody, I mean, any mechanic worth their salt wants to know what the problem is so they can avoid it in the future. I'm kind of surprised that none of these guys, even the professionals, they're showing you how to do it. They don't tell you what the actual problem is to look for, like cracked rubber or what is it that's going bad on these mounts. Because I mean, it's a lot of them. It's almost every Ford car, and it's a lot of model years. It's all of them with this designed mount. It's got to be like 5 years at least. I think it's like from 06 to 12, something like that. They all have this problem because they all have the same mount. But okay, guys, that's it. That's what you need to look out for. Any questions, put it in the comments. I'd be glad to talk to you.